Have you ever wondered about one of the strangest verses in the entire Bible? Why does the book of Jude tell us that Michael the Archangel fought with Satan over the body of Moses? Why would God send his mighty warrior angel to defend a dead man's body? Why would Satan, the enemy of souls, want a corpse? And why is this mysterious battle recorded in just a single verse with no further explanation? Today, we are going to uncover this hidden mystery, tracing it from the death of Moses on Mount Nebo to the cosmic battle between light and darkness. And in the end, you'll see that this is more than just about a body. It's about resurrection, redemption, and the authority of God. Our story begins in Deuteronomy chapter 34. Moses, the servant of the Lord, climbs Mount Nebo. From its summit, he gazes across the Jordan into the Promised Land, a land he longed for but was forbidden to enter. Because of his disobedience at the waters of Meribah, God told him he would only see the land but not step into it. There on the mountain, Moses dies in the presence of the Lord. But what happens next is unlike anything else in the Bible. Deuteronomy 34:6 says, "And he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, but no man knows the place of his burial to this day." God himself buried Moses. Think about that. The creator of heaven and earth personally lays Moses to rest and hides the location. Why keep Moses' grave hidden? Other prophets and kings had burial sites known to the people. Abraham was buried in the cave of Machpelah. David was buried in Jerusalem. But Moses, his resting place was concealed by God. One possible reason is that Israel might have turned his grave into a shrine, even worshipped his remains, turning the body of God's servant into an idol. God, knowing the weakness of the human heart, hid Moses' grave to prevent idolatry. Yet this is only part of the story, because later in Scripture we discover that Satan himself had his eyes on that hidden grave. The only place this mysterious event is recorded is in the New Testament, in Jude verse 9. But Michael the Archangel, when he disputed with the devil and argued about the body of Moses, did not dare pronounce against him a railing judgment, but said, "The Lord rebuke you." A single verse, no context, no backstory, no explanation, but it opens a door to a cosmic confrontation. Why would the devil want Moses' body, and why was Michael sent to resist him? Before we answer, let's understand Michael. His very name means, "who is like God." He is not just any angel. He is a commander, a protector, a warrior. In Daniel 10 and 12, Michael is described as the great prince who defends Israel. In Revelation 12, Michael leads the armies of heaven to cast Satan out. Michael represents God's heavenly champion, fighting not in his own strength, but in the power of the Lord. So when the devil laid claim to Moses' body, it was Michael who was sent to confront him. Now the great question, why would Satan, the enemy of souls, want a dead man's body? Some scholars believe Satan intended to corrupt Israel, turning Moses' grave into an idol. Others suggest Satan wanted to accuse Moses because of his past sin. Remember, Moses once killed an Egyptian in anger. Satan, the accuser, might have argued that Moses belonged to him. Still others suggest the devil sought to interfere with God's future plan, for Moses did not remain hidden forever. Centuries later, he appears alive with Elijah on the Mount of Transfiguration, speaking with Jesus. Satan perhaps wanted to prevent that moment, to lay claim to the prophet's body and disrupt God's plan. But notice something important. Jude 1:9 says Michael did not argue with Satan in his own power. He did not strike him down or call on his own authority. Instead, he declared, "The Lord rebuke you." Even the mightiest angel relies not on his own strength, but on the authority of God. This teaches us a lesson. When we face the enemy, it is not our words, our strength, or our wisdom that wins the battle. It is the authority of the Lord alone. The devil is the accuser. He accused Job before God. He accuses the saints day and night, as Revelation says. And here he accuses Moses, seeking to claim his body, but God rebukes him through Michael. The power of accusation is silenced by the greater power of redemption. Satan's schemes are shattered not by angelic debate, but by divine authority. Moses, though a sinner, was redeemed by God's mercy. His past sins could not disqualify him from God's plan. "The Lord rebuke you, Satan. Moses belongs to me." But this battle also whispers of resurrection. Why was Moses' body so important? Because death is not the end. God had a plan for Moses beyond the grave. We see him alive on the Mount of Transfiguration alongside Elijah, speaking with Christ. This is a glimpse of the future, a picture of resurrection life. Satan wanted to claim the body because he knew that God's plan was not finished, but he could not stop it. Death is not the final word when God is involved. So what does this story mean for us? First, it reminds us that Satan is always seeking to accuse, to claim, to twist. He even tried to claim the body of God's servant. Second, it shows us that our defense is not in ourselves, but in the Lord who rebukes the enemy. Third, it points us to resurrection hope. Just as Moses did not remain in the grave, so too the saints will rise. Death cannot stop God's promises. The devil may accuse, but he cannot own what God has redeemed. So now, the mystery of Michael and Satan contending over Moses' body is not so strange after all. Satan sought to corrupt, accuse, and claim, but Michael stood in God's authority and declared, "The Lord rebuke you." And in the end, God's plan went forward. Moses honored, Satan defeated, resurrection assured. This single verse in Jude is a window into the eternal war, reminding us that the battle belongs to the Lord. And that is why you are watching Bible Mysteries Revealed. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we uncover the depth of Scripture. If this journey opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts below. Why do you think Satan wanted Moses' body? Let's discuss in the comments. Until next time, remember, the Bible is full of mysteries, and together we will reveal them.